to the First Gen All In Experience.
Hello. I'm Kerry. I'm a statesman pioneer here at Delta State University. I got a couple of questions, but first, can you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are?
I'm Audrey Johnson, also known as Lady Audri. I'm actually a graduate of Delta State University. I'm an entertainment industry studies. I was an entertainment industry studies student with the concentration of entrepreneurship. I'm also a Grammy awarding engineer and an artist. So, yeah.
That's a that's a lot. I know who you are. Personally, I have seen your face all over the DMI building, so it is a familiar face. I'm glad I get to do this interview. Um,
Likewise.
First question. Well, I googled you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did look you up. So I got a couple of questions. Like inside of the music career, how did you approach like the creation of the work that won your Grammy, the gospel album? How like what was the reasoning behind the creation of it?
I mean, honestly, just serving really. We went to Tennessee State University, developed a relationship with the band director there, and we started working. And of course, it's gospel, so we had different artists on the project. For some of the songs, I had to travel to go and record artists, but yeah, pretty much like that. Just it I'm a former band student, so it
Hmm.
felt like home for me. It made me feel like I was in high school all over again. So it was kind of fun being able to do that and put together or implement the creativity of marching band and church. So yeah, that's pretty much what I grew up in was church and being in band from sixth grade until my sophomore year in college. So yeah, it felt like home.
Yeah, I was in a band myself too. I played concert tuba and guitars. Like
Yeah, I played trumpet for 10 years. So yeah, yeah.
okay, like before the Grammy, what went through your
Mhm.
mind when you first heard you were nominated?
Oh, it was crazy. It was unbelievable. A part of me felt like I knew we were gonna get it, but a
Hmm.
part of me, it's I was on edge, just being honest. And to find out that we were nominated, it's like, oh my God, like I felt like I was on the right path because quitting a job where you have steady income and really
Yeah,
just going by faith and trusting in my capabilities of being an engineer. It just made me feel like I was on the right path.
I couldn't imagine getting nominated for a Grammy.
I definitely
Um,
wasn't expecting it that fast because it was only like a year and a half after quitting
After
my
the
job.
release? Oh, after you quit
Yeah,
your job. Okay.
yeah.
So how long? Okay, so I got a question because I'm not sure how the Grammy stuff work. I'm still new. So
Hmm.
you made the album, okay? Got the album made. How
Hmm.
long was the album released before it was put into like the nomination list? Do you know that, or
Um,
is that a question for an agent?
maybe like a month or so. Well, let me see. Maybe 2 or 3 months it was out because you have to turn in your projects
Mm-hmm.
by a certain period of
Yeah,
time
it's
for it to
like
be
October.
eligible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think at that year it was we had to have it turned in by either the end of August or the beginning of September, and we didn't get the nomination until November. So
Mm.
yeah.
Side note: do you keep your Grammy on you?
I no, I don't. It's at the house.
Real,
I
yeah.
I stopped carrying it around with me, but just
But you used to, because I would. I
I
keep it. Yeah, I keep
well
it.
when I first got it, I would only have it on me if I know I'm going to see some friends or family that hasn't seen it.
Hmm.
I'm not really that big on just carrying it around because honestly, after winning the Grammy and getting it, people started acting weird. So I kind of bagged off on showing people. So,
Okay.
I don't, just me being honest, I like attention, but I don't like attention that much. And I don't like feeling like I'm being treated like I'm a trophy. I'm not a trophy. Like,
That's real.
I'm not something you could just showboat when you want and then you don't. So, I'm a person, you know. So, yeah, I kind of stopped. I got to a point where I stopped showing people. So,
But man, that I can't even. Yeah, I'd
it's
still have it. It'll be like, yeah, I'd have it in like a little fancy. Is it fancy at least? Like what kind of Grammy? What is it? Is it real gold? Is it heavy? Like
it's heavy.
it's
Like,
it's heavy.
yeah. It's heavy, it's shiny. I don't touch it much. It pretty much just sits on the stand
Yeah.
and as a reminder, that it's possible, But I mean, we worked really hard, but it was all worth it in the end.
Now, okay. Switching topics, I want to talk about like the process.
Hmm.
You're a songwriter.
Yes.
How long did it take you to write a song? That's a better question.
On this project or just in
Hmm.
general?
Both.
Okay. I had no creative input on this album. I only did the
Oh.
recording and mixing. So, I mean, mixing would be creative, I
Hmm.
guess.
Yeah.
But as far as songwriting or producing, I didn't do any of that. Most of that was done by Southern Baptist, and some was done by Professor Jenkins and Double A. But as far as me, it really depends on how it really depends. Sometimes it can take me 30 minutes to write a song. Sometimes it may take me a week to a month to, completely write a song. But I'm constantly putting ideas together. Sometimes I could have a really great idea, but I can't finish it out. And sometimes it takes going through life experiences to be able to finish certain songs or to finish an idea out. So it just really depends.
So, um, so for artists trying to enter the music industry, do you think that a ghostwriter is a essential? Do you think it's like a essential connection for success, or do you feel like people can make it off of the strength of their own pen?
Um, I'll say it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Me, I don't, me being an artist, I don't want anyone writing songs for me. I'm not
Amen.
against collabing with someone. Some people need ghostwriters, but me in
Okay.
particular, I don't. You're not gonna write my story for me. That's how I feel personally. Sometimes it's necessary, to get help with writing a song, but it's different for everybody. Most of the time if you're doing it yourself, it's gonna take a little longer, but
Mhm.
you tend to gain more, because you own most of the masters. And I mean, and that depends too on resources, like how much money you spent on getting guitar parts recorded or getting bass recorded. It all just depends. So, um, me personally, I don't mind taking the long run, the longer route, because I value my music that much. So that's where I am with that.
I'm a I write my own songs, so that was a good question. I had to ask you is I don't know. I don't record like gospel. Like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
in that genre. I'm a hip hop artist, so
Yeah.
it's a lot harder to push my music because all of everything sounds the same. So it's harder
Yeah.
to find that crowd. But do you have like three important steps someone like me, like or anybody interested in like the industry field, like they could take to get to graduation or like creative ways to find internships? Anything really.
I would say continue to network. You never know, like your friends, even people that's in the DMI right now, you never know where life is going to take them. So far, like one of my friends, he didn't go to the DMI, but we were just friends. We connected and we did a song at the DMI while I was working there, and 3 4 years later, now he's a Grammy award winning producer. He had an opportunity to work on Jay Ivy's project that won a Grammy, so he got a certificate. He helped produce one of the songs. So it's really about networking. You never know where life will lead people. I would say, until you graduate, record as much as possible. When you get out here into the world, there's not much room for mistakes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you still will make mistakes, but I would encourage you to make as many mistakes as possible while you're in school. Like, put songs out. Don't. I'm not saying just put them out without a plan,
Mhm.
but I would encourage you to create as much as possible. What is the third thing I could tell you? Um, Shucks. That's a hard one. I'm trying to think about, just from my experience,
Yeah.
because I've always been the type of person that's willing to take risks. Even after graduating, that was a huge risk for me to quit my job. I had insurance, all of that, and I quit, like, trying to chase a dream, and I got a Grammy out of
I was gonna that, but like, look,
it.
look how it turned out. That's
Yeah, be
it's
willing
like
to
a
take
lifetime
risks.
movement. Would you want your legacy to be both as an artist and as an individual, or separate? Would you want like two separate ones?
Um, for me, it would be both. It's gonna be intertwined in a way,
Okay.
because I don't want to be like the artist in me is still gonna represent who I am personally. Um, there are a lot of people. Well, I won't say that, but
Now,
there are some people who
let it go.
portray certain images, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not who they really are. I don't have the energy to play both sides. I want to be as genuine as I can, um, in front of a camera and behind it. But just from my experience from meeting different people in the industry, as far as my character always speaks for itself. I'm very trustworthy. I'm hardworking, and honestly, if you're not that, they're not gonna let you into the industry. They're
Real.
not, because I mean, people deal with things in their personal lives, and if they can't trust you, you're not gonna be around. You're not gonna be around, and if you are, you're not gonna be around for long. So
Were your teachers in DM like who were your teachers when you went to the DMI program? Was it still Richard,
yeah, Richard was one.
Charlie?
Travis Calvin, who?
Travis is in here now. Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie was
Okay.
one. Barry was one. Miss Trisha was one.
Okay, she's still here.
Who else? Am I missing someone?
Was Austin? Was
I don't
Austin
think
there?
I'm missing
Austin probably
Austin.
was.
No,
Austin.
Austin was a student when I was
Oh,
there.
oh.
Yeah, I graduated in 2018, so yeah. I know
That's
it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it has.
because
Yeah,
I'm class of 28. So
yeah. It's fine though. It's fine.
nah, it's just because I wanted to, because I know Richard is taught like names. It's some names that have came like through Richard. So he was telling us in classes was his only rule for an internship or anything of that nature is just to be a good person. Like he doesn't even care if you
Yeah,
don't know what you're doing. Like you can
yeah.
go in there, you can go in there and learn it all from him as long as you're willing to learn it and not be like, I don't know what that would call, like
A
turning your nose up.
know-it-all
Yeah.
or someone who's not trainable. Mr. Charlie, he said this one thing that always stuck with me. Um, he said to try it, even if you don't know what you're doing. Take advantage of every
Yeah.
opportunity. And when I came on with Temple, I didn't have very much experience with cameras, but after going through what I would call artist boot camp or A&R boot camp,
Hmm.
like I've learned how to shoot some of the best photos, doing videography and all type of stuff. So just because I was willing to learn, being coachable, when I did my internship, I did everything they asked me to do, and to this day, they still like we still have a relationship.
Mm.
So like if they needed me to clean the toilet, I would do it.
Real, yeah.
Because it's I mean, it's a toilet. So,
And
not being uppity or I'm too good for that. It's not about that. It's about your character. And it's like I said, your character goes a long way. So, and people, they remember how you are.
yeah,
They remember
first
it
impression
impacts
does
them.
a lot. Yeah.
It does. So, I don't have a bad name out here. So, yeah.
Um, I think that's all we got for today. I
Hmm.
do got some questions I want to ask like after, but um, let the people know where they can find you, your music, social
Hmm.
media, anything. Just it's
Well,
the
as
floor is
of as
yours.
of now, I'm in the process of rebranding myself. I was known as Audrey. I was rapping most of the time, singing
Mhm.
a little, but now I'm rebranding myself as Lady Audri. You can find me on Instagram, Lady Audri, TikTok. I'm working on a new single right now. I'll be dropping videos soon, kind of like teasing the crowd about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Or you can find me on Facebook, Lady Audrey. So yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
Get
Okay.
ready. It's
Okay.
gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I'm I'm ready to listen. But, um, again, my name is Carrie. This is Lady Audrey, the Grammy Award winning artist. Amazing. Y'all have a great day.